Hi everyone. So in today's lecture we are going to see about the difference between JDK, JRE and JVM. So the first thing is we should know about Java softwares. In the last lecture itself we have discussed that Java program is platform independent whereas JVM is platform dependent. And this JVM is also a Java software, right? So basically, my point here is, the Java softwares are what? Platform dependent softwares. What? It is platform dependent software. It is the first point. Okay, that the Java softwares are what? Platform dependent software. And basically, we have two types of Java softwares, and that two types are what? Java Development Kit, that is JDK, and Java Runtime Environment, that is JRE. So basically we have two types of softwares, JDK and JRE. That is the reason you might have heard the word that install the JDK for Windows, install the JDK for Linux system, operating system, right? Because you are using if you are using the Windows operating system, so you have to install JDK for Windows. If you are using Linux, so you have to install JDK for Linux in order to develop the program, compile the program, or execute the program, right? Let's see the next one. So, JDK is what? JDK is the Java development kit used by what? Java developers in order to develop Java application. Fine. It is in very simple language. JDK is nothing but a Java development kit which is used by the programmers or the Java developers to develop what? Java applications, right? And this JDK consists of both compiler and JVM. JDK consists of what? Compiler and JVM. It is basically a development platform. By using JDK, we can develop, we can compile, and we can execute new Java applications, as well as we can modify, we can compile, and we can execute already developed applications also by the help of this JDK. So this JDK is basically required for developers and programmers. Okay, is this fine? Because developers and programmers are responsible to develop and to modify the application, right? So if they will develop and if they will modify, they must have to compile that and execute them also to check whether all the functionalities are working properly or not, right? So for them, JDK is required. Is it clear? Now the next thing is JRE. JRE is only having JVM, and JRE stands for what? Java Runtime Environment, which consists of JVM and runtime class libraries also. Hence, using JRE, we can only execute what? Already developed applications. We can only execute. Remember this word. You can only execute already developed applications using the JRE. Because JRE consists of what? JVM and the runtime class libraries. So for the testing and production environment, JRE installation is enough because testers and end users are not going to develop programs. Hence, only execution is required for them. That is the reason for testing and for production environment, what thing is enough? Only JRE is enough. But for the developers, which thing is required? Which Java software is required? JDK is required. I hope this thing is clear to you. When to go for JDK and when to go for JRE. Am I right? Now let's move ahead and see one more thing. So you have this JDK. It is the JDK. So JDK consists of what? Compiler plus JRE. JDK consists of what? Compiler plus what? JRE. And this JRE consists of what? JVM plus runtime class libraries. Runtime class libraries. Right? So from this diagram, we can conclude that this JVM is what? A subset of JRE. Is a subset of JRE, and this JRE is what? A subset of JDK, right? So whenever you will install what? Whenever you will install this JDK, JRE is also installed automatically. You can install JRE alone also. You can install this JRE alone also. Okay. But the point here is whenever you will install JDK, JRE will also come automatically. Okay, so the JVM means what? Java virtual machine. The JVM means what? Java virtual machine. Java virtual machine. What is the work of this Java virtual machine? It loads, it verifies, and executes Java bytecode. JVM executes those bytecodes by converting them into the machine language of the current operating system. Eh, I hope this thing is clear, right? So JVM is what? JVM is OS dependent. JVM is available for every operating system separately. You have to install JRE for JVM, okay? As it is a part of JRE itself. So suppose you are the customer and you have Windows operating system. So as you are the customer, you only want to execute the Java code, right? So for that, you have to install JRE for Windows. And as a part of JRE, JVM will automatically come and you can execute happily that program and you can do whatever you want. Whatever functionality is required, you can perform there in that application, right? So that's all about what? JDK, JRE, and JVM. Hope you understood that when to go for JDK and when to go for the JRE software. So, thanks for your valuable time. Please subscribe. And one more